I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for supporting us and for spreading the word about our show, sharing it across social media, and sending us your feedback and commenting on all the dishes that we prepare for you, and actually cooking them as well yourself and telling us how it's been. But a lot of you who are watching are not subscribing as yet. Data tells us that almost 50% of you haven't subscribed. So please do subscribe. It's just a click of the button down there, and do like and do comment and keep being the wonderful audience that you are. We're interrupting our regular programming because I have discovered this absolutely amazing, super delicious, absolutely fantastic recipe for mutton, Banjara mutton. Banjara mutton probably has its roots in the nomadic tribes of India, when they were traveling and just sitting and cooking their meat. But I discovered it on Facebook, and it just sort of yelled out to me. It was like, cook me. And this recipe is from a lovely lady called Anu Pathria. She is a regular food blogger, and I'm going to share her description, a link to her blog in the description below. And so if you want, she's got a million other recipes which are equally good, but this one was like totally to die for. And the other interesting part of today's episode is that while we were traveling around in Kerala, God's own country, I discovered that one of the reasons their food tastes so good is because they cook it in a chatti, which is an earthen vessel. And Amit very kindly got me 3 of them. So we married Banjara mutton to the Kerala chatti and came up with the most amazing, delicious preparation of mutton you can have. If you don't have a chatti, it doesn't matter. You can still cook it in your regular pan. But I would suggest, go online and order that chatti. And it comes with a whole host of directions of how to use your earthenware and how to prepare it before you're cooking. And it's a completely different cooking style, but it's well worth it. You need to wet this before you start cooking, and it has to be on slow fire. And when you're done with it, if you don't have one of these to place it on, then you keep your chatti upside down. That's what my friend Rachel taught me. So these are my 3 chattis, and this one, this big guy, is going to be used for Banjara mutton. The other thing about the chatti is you really need a lot of patience because it's all on slow fire. You can increase the flame if you like, but then because this thing sort of holds the heat, when you cook on high flame, then there's a tendency to burn the dish. So slow fire is the way to go about it. Banjara mutton in any case should be cooked on slow fire because it's one of those dishes where you sit and watch it simmer and bubble, and the fragrances sort of reach out to you, and by the time it's done after a couple of hours, you're like ready to attack. The recipe itself is very simple. Like your normal mutton curry, you marinate it with ginger, garlic and yogurt and salt, and let it sit there for an hour or so. Then you fry the onions till they're kind of brown. You add the tomatoes, and once the tomatoes are all mushy and the oil is on top, you add the meat to the dish. And once the meat is kind of bhunoed or fried in the masalas, you add a little water and let it simmer. Then when it's almost half done, when it's kind of tender, the mutton, you add this very special powder of roasted coriander seeds and roasted red chili. The hotter it is, the better it is, and my red chilies weren't that hot, so I added a little red chili powder towards the end. So it was really yummy. And the best part is that you take this whole bunch of coriander, fresh coriander, and you dunk it in while the pot is simmering, and then let it cook on slow fire till the meat is completely done. So that the main hero of this recipe, I guess, is the coriander, in the roasted coriander seeds as well as the fresh coriander. And believe me, it is absolutely mouth-watering. So let me take you through all the steps in detail on how to cook Banjara mutton, and of course Anu's recipe is there in the description below. So Chatti cooking, as I have discovered today, is a whole new concept of cooking. You can't sort of bang your spatula on the edge. You can't be rough and tough while mixing the masalas or whatever. And it's almost as if you need to breathe gently. You need to be patient. You have to do everything on slow fire to medium fire. And it's like that Chatti is like the Zen master sitting over there on the fire and sort of telling you, patience, patience, come on, sit down, enjoy the process. You're cooking, it's an art. You have to get into it, and you have to sort of really enjoy it. Give it a break, meditate, cook that ultimate dish. this Banjara mutton is, in terms of taste, it's rich, it's flavorful, it's cooked in mustard oil, so that sort of hit the Bengali in me. And like I said, it's, the coriander, the seeds and the fresh coriander really give it a different kind of a flavor, and it's very different from your regular mutton curries, mainly because I think it doesn't have any garam masala. So every time you have a mutton curry, there's like lots and lots of garam masala in it, so all you get is that garam masala fragrance, but this doesn't have it. This is fresh, it's rustic, and like the name says, it's Banjara. You can sort of be sitting on the roadside somewhere and eating this nice thick rotis, or I of course had it with rice. Chatti cooking is going to be the new way of cooking in the slow fire chef kitchen, and I also actually made some dal makhni in this, and it simmered for like 2-3 hours, and it was the best dal makhni I've had in a long time. So now that I've had my Chatti experience, and it was so brilliant because of the Banjara mutton, we'll go back to our regular episodes of the Travel Diary. Meanwhile, get yourself some Chattis and don't forget to try this Banjara mutton. Thanks, Anu.